Issues preoccupied with protecting and securing lecturers and students at the start of the 2020 year. The university's vice-chancellor has identified some grey spots on campus that need to be tackled.
The infrastructure that we have on what we call down campus and those around Kasbambili, because we have quite a few halls there and our 17 classroom block that we can use. So the hotspots are those areas below campus, and that's where a lot of kidnapping took place the last 3 years.
We are going to make sure to set up security measures here to reinforce security for our students to be learning and studying quietly in a safe environment.
Besides the security plan, the university has also put in place a COVID-19 response plan where it has programmed the reopening of the institution's 12 schools and faculties in phases.
From the northwest, we'll take you to the southwest region where the University of Buea campus is bustling with activity as the 2020-2021 academic year takes shape. The admission of freshmen is well on course ahead of the official reopening, while counseling is underway for the curious and ambitious students. Details in this report with Charles Abuno.
After obtaining his GC advanced level in Yaoundé, Jezil is seeking for admission at the University of Buea. The young man is very optimistic about getting admission at UB.
How come they have a delay and that they have stopped to continue in a few days' time? I chose the University of Buea because I like the University of Buea ever since I was in secondary school, so as I have come here.
The campus is really large in size as compared to my former school. Not only large, but it has interesting sites. The range of buildings is kind of nice and conducive for learning.
Activities are being intensified at the University of Buea for the new academic year, with focus on measures to fight against the COVID-19. University of Buea officials are taking all the necessary measures to welcome the newly admitted students in the best way possible.
At the universities of Yaoundé 1 and 2, successful candidates of the GC advanced levels and baccalaureate examinations have begun orientation on the different schools and faculties. Although registration will be open till the 6th of November, lectures will effectively begin on Monday, October 19. Constantine Baum reports that both institutions have also intensified COVID-19 preventive measures on campus.
This is day one of the new school year at the Yaoundé 2 University SWA. No one gets in without washing his or her hands, and wearing a face mask is obligatory. There are a group of returning students helping in orientating new ones on how to register.
They ask us to put our face mask, to wash our hands, to respect the COVID-19 measure.
It is a busy day for the university administration as well on this first day, as a series of coordination meetings are organized between the rector, deans and heads of departments.
We have reactivated the system we put in place last June, of course with some slight modification. The wearing of masks, washing of hands, and also the testing of temperature. We have put in place teams to sensitize the newcomers, to let them know how they have to behave.
The doors too for the new school year in the Yaoundé 1 University are open, with the fight against the coronavirus pandemic a top priority.
In the classrooms, we have measured the distance of 1 meter in between two students, and those measures are going also to be respected.
A series of orientation exercises for freshmen took place this day. Returning students have been using the day to finalize registration formalities while looking forward to fully commence classes as from Monday, October 19.
At the Catholic University of Central Africa in Yaoundé, lectures are on and students are poised for success from day one of the academic year. The institution has also launched its Faculty of Law and Political Science to meet the demand of the population. Gilbert Ongen reports that focus this year will be laid on the professionalization of studies to guarantee employment upon graduation.
Against the backdrop of growing unemployment among graduates, officials of the Catholic University of Central Africa say they are laying emphasis on the professionalization of studies they offer. The institution, which receives students from the CEMAC sub-region and beyond, is opening a new faculty this year at its Ekunu campus.
Catholic University has decided to open this academic year the Faculty of Political Sciences and Law.
As classes begin for this academic year, barrier measures against the coronavirus pandemic are strictly observed.
Since last academic year, we are managing to preserve our students from this pandemic.
The education community here affirms that they are marching resolutely towards the modernization of learning marked by exchange study programs with renowned universities in Japan, the USA, and France, well on course.
Over in the littoral region, some 60,000 students and 1,500 lecturers were on campus at the University of Douala today. The first day was mainly characterized by guidance, counseling and the presentation of the different study options. Details with Scholar Maloke.
At the University of Douala, everything is on rail for a successful 2020-2021 academic year. Considering that the number of students who come to the university each year surpass the available lecturers, school officials are still awaiting the final list for the special recruitment of assistant lecturers for this academic year.
We were lucky to find 70 places within the 375 files that we received. So I think now we are waiting for the decision of the ministry and the highest decision of the service of.
The 90 who were recruited last year are already working.
They are teaching, they are making research, they are following up our students, so they are already.
Authorities are sure of a successful 2020-2021 academic year with most lectures taking place at the Logbesu campus, which is spacious.
In the Adamawa region, the University of Ngaoundéré has witnessed a remarkable increase in the enrollment of students from neighboring Chad. Although the majority are yet to complete their registration formalities, a huge number of them trooped to campus during today's reopening. As we hear in this report by Silas Nkwine.
At the University of Ngaoundéré, hundreds of new students are back in class for academic year 2020-2021, virtually and otherwise. The institution effectively reopened this Thursday with strict coronavirus rules preceded by smooth enrollment procedures, except for the Faculty of Economics and Management, where barely 204 GCE and baccalaureate students are said to have enrolled so far. The attendance rate was higher in other faculties. According to officials, banking and finance are preferred courses at the Faculty of Economics and Management, while biology, biomedical sciences, physics, maths and computer sciences are preferred courses at the Faculty of Science. The university is expecting over 30,000 first-time students this year, including students from neighboring Chad and Central African Republic. Officials say measures have been put in place to assist these students whenever necessary and to help them have a great and successful first year.
At the University of Chang, this academic year will witness a plethora of infrastructural and pedagogic projects. Authorities of the institution have invested in the construction of buildings and the acquisition of state-of-the-art equipment to foster learning and to improve on the quality of teaching. Chancellor Nancy reports on these and other programs in view.
Students of the University of Chang will have to get used to this noise from bulldozers, hammers and other building equipment that are gradually transforming this part of the university into another campus. This time around, Campus G.
We also received the new council building where all the governance institutions can now meet.
Apart from infrastructural innovations underway on the campus, a lot has been put in place to facilitate studies for students.
We have asked to all our lecturers to continue in terms of numerization of classes, in terms of e-learning, to be sure that even if people are not together, they can continue to receive some classes.
The projects are partly financed by a grant from the Cameroon government to the tune of 33 million CFA francs, which will also help the institution of higher learning face the challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic.
We have a lot of points in our campuses to wash hands. We have asked everybody to have a gel, hydroalcoholic gel. We will put in place distanciation measures in order to avoid any contamination.
So far, the halls for PhD students and the meeting room have been completed.
From institutions of higher learning onto a holistic approach of education, we zoom in on the Deo Gracias Catholic School Yaoundé, which blends learning and health services. The school campus is closely attached to a health center, which, though open to the public, is intended to provide emergency medical attention to pupils during school hours. Raihanatu Salih presents the laudable initiative.
She walks into the new school year confident that her academics and health is assured at Deo Gracias Catholic School Complex. This because the school and hospital cohabit.
My parents decided to send me to this school because the hospital is near the school. When a student is sick or have a problem, they rush the student to the hospital.
From general medicine to gynecology, pediatrics and dentistry, Deo Gracias Hospital addresses the needs of its students and the general public.
Africa Future Association promotes the integral human development. We have the church for the soul, we have the school for the spirit, and then we have a hospital to take care about our bodies.
Deo Gracias Afrique Future is reaching out to the needy in Cameroon and across Africa by providing them with basic facilities like schools and hospitals.
It's been 2 years since the implementation of the one-book policy, and accredited publishers have to ensure that textbooks are produced in conformity with international standards. Each year, a manual is thus released containing the textbook retained as well as the chosen publishers. To end our series on textbooks, Yoti Kaleli Songo reports on the current states of the book publishing market.
50 accredited publishers run the national textbook market where there is a one-book policy. While some have succeeded in printing all their titles this school year, others still lag even though schools reopen 2 months before the official date for serious producers.
It takes a lot of commitment and hard work internally to get that smooth right.
Providing good content and printing according to international standards is also a publisher's duty.
People just want to seize opportunities and get into a business they don't understand. And then they start getting the understanding inside. And by the time they get the understanding, they're putting a whole country in embarrassment.
The National Council for the Approval of Textbooks and Didactic Materials has a plan to ensure that book publishers meet up with their responsibility.
We intend to further reduce the number of publishers to at most 15, the best professionals and financially credible ones that we carry on with the textbook market.
For now, publishers say print runs in Cameroon are slow, reason most of them prefer to buy printing services abroad.
Didactic material and COVID-19 preventive kits have been donated to internally displaced persons and vulnerable children of the Yaoundé 6 Council area. The benefactor is the CPDM member of the National Assembly from Funda 6 constituency, Honorable Yeba Judith Meno, who challenged the pupils to be hardworking. Kwanchua Marie Cledo has the details.
Government's Bilingual Technical College Mewulu is the first college with close to 800 internally displaced students to benefit from the largesse of Honorable Yeba Judith Mokio Menu. Created some 5 years ago, the college is faced with some infrastructural challenges. IDPs and vulnerable students in government's bilingual high schools Etukebi and Mendon were also beneficiaries. The students received books, pens, pencils, rulers, as well as COVID-19 preventive kits.
I want to let them know that there is someone out there who cares for them in Yaoundé 6. I want them to have hope. This modest donation that I've given them will help to boost their academic performance.
The Member of Parliament was accompanied by the DO of Yaoundé 6 and the 3rd Deputy Mayor of the locality.
In other news, the temporary coronavirus isolation and treatment center mounted at the military stadium in Yaoundé has been dismantled. As we should be seeing the pictures, the Minister of Public Health, Manawode Malashi, has outlined that the move is geared towards making way for the smooth preparation of the 2021 African Nations Championship. He used the occasion to warn the population that the coronavirus remains a menace in the country, and as such, the respect of barrier measures must be maintained. Elsewhere, the role of the Army Health Research Center in the report's plan against coronavirus has been described as capital. The minister delegate at the presidency in charge of defense, Joseph Betia Somo, made the appraisal today during a working visit to the center. Kelian Dandifon reports that the encouragements of the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Paul Biya, was also extended to the staff.
The Army Health Research Center has already controlled the spread of HIV/AIDS, avian flu, monkeypox, and today COVID-19, thanks to its modern technical platform.
We have a total of 8 molecular biology laboratories, 3 biological laboratories for the testing of biological samples.
The center has a multifaceted partnership with medical control centers and universities around the world.
That partnership consists of building capacity in Cameroon for fundraising and collaboration with the Ministry of Public Health.
Minister Joseph Betia Somo expressed satisfaction with what he saw.
We have come to encourage you and to transmit the congratulations of the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces who made it possible for this center to exist. You constitute a special arm of the government reposite plan against COVID-19.
The center's major mission is to carry out research and biomedical diagnosis for the benefit of all categories of people.
The wearing of face masks in public places will be mandatory until further notice.
A national survey to check the seroprevalence of the coronavirus in the 10 regions of the country has been launched. The survey will enable the Ministry of Public Health assess the population's knowledge on the virus and to check behavioral change. Baldwin Sama at the Public Health Emergency Operations Center will be talking to Dr. Joseph Fokam on the issue. Hi, Baldwin. You also have the latest COVID-19 figures.
Good evening to you, Esther Kmer. The latest figures tonight, we have 21,430 Cameroonians who have been tested positive for COVID-19. 20,333 Cameroonians have recovered from the virus with a recovery rate that stands at 95%, with 424 Cameroonians who have died of the virus, and we have 673 active cases. With Dr. Joseph Fokam tonight, who is a virologist, we talk about this national survey to check the zero prevalence of the coronavirus in the 10 regions of the country. Doctor, tell us, what is it all about and how important is it?
Effectively, zero prevalence is the number of people in the community who are tested positive for a particular disease condition based on antibody testing in their blood serum. Now, taking this into the context of coronavirus, zero prevalence is the number of people in Cameroon who were exposed to coronavirus based on a positive antibody test. And that's why at this moment, we would like to know in our context, how far has coronavirus gone, such that we should be able now to implement effective public health measures to continue slowing down the epidemic.
And how important is it?
How important is it? It helps us to know how many people were really exposed to coronavirus. Then we should be able effectively to know where do we have those clusters and how do we mitigate those measures in our context.
Thank you so much, Dr. Joseph Fokam. And just remind our viewers that this national survey will run for the next 4 months and it will take place in the 10 different regions of the country. Back to you, Esther Kmer. The next 4 months and it will take place in the 10 different regions of the country.
that the coronavirus still threatens lives in Cameroon. In other news, 30 military and security personnel have ended a 5-week course on video conference at the APSA United Nations Staff System College in Yaoundé. The Director General of the School for Security Forces, General André Patrice Bitote, reiterated the commitment of the African Peacekeepers Association to help maintain and to build peace in Africa. Luma Slim Davies reports.
It was a course that brought together 30 participants from ASTA member countries, with 8 of them from Cameroon.
It is an opportunity to seize and to acquire skills, to convert face-to-face classes to e-learning courses.
I'm very satisfied with the method we have learned. We don't need now to have all the students in the same classroom. We can use internet or other tools.
For the Director General of the International School for Security Forces, EFORS, Brigadier General André Patrice Bitote, the objective was met.
We shall remain focused on developing the African capacity to instill peace and security through standardization of training.
Participating countries expressed satisfaction with the quality and gratitude to Cameroon.
In sports, the inspection of stadia and other facilities to host the African Nations Championship in the littoral region is underway. The Minister of Sports and Physical Education, Professor Narcis Monekombi, was at the Mbapelepe Stadium where the makeshift COVID-19 center is being dismantled. Dixon Asho has the details.
On site, the Mbapelepe Stadium, as the sports minister came visiting, temporary structures that hosted COVID-19 patients have been dismantled. The infrastructure has incurred some collateral damage in the course of the extra service. The project coordinator cited, among others, the need to completely redo the turf, review the restrooms, and reinforce certain compartments. At the Bepanda Ome Sports Stadium, like the Bonamusadi training field, the prime concern is ensuring effective internet connection, as optical fibers are expected to be put into operation by Camtel. The Bonamusadi Annex Stadium also has to meet up with pavement works. 50,000 capacity Japoma Stadium is ready, but will need to boost Wi-Fi connection to cover every compartment previewed. Sports Minister Narcis Monekombi is giving a guided tour around the structure for a first-hand appreciation of the accomplishment. Besides the sporting infrastructures, there is need for accreditation centers, and the Douala 5 Council has provided space for the service within its structure. Shan 2021 is only 3 months away, and Douala is expected to be ready before the due appointment, not just in terms of infrastructure and accommodation, but also in terms of ensuring the fan zones. This until the CAF delegation comes inspecting.
In our top stories, government has denounced the report of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights on the situation of supporters of the Cameroon Renaissance movement. It described the outing as one-sided and as distorted. More news comes up at 8:30 p.m. with Adel Mbala. Tomorrow at 7:30 p.m., Ben and Bunwa Ghana will be your host. Thanks for watching and stay tuned to our programs on CRTV. Good night.
In this connection, we should avoid stigmatizing